Wow, man, I've been under so many medical drugs and shit. My leg right here and shit. Shit, I got tranquilized right here. They go on here and numb his legs and shit. They numb my leg, my left leg. This motherfucker here, oof. It still ain't came back here, and I feel like, damn, these people really about to put my ass in paradise in Pearland over there and shit in the goddamn funeral home and shit. I thought I was going in the ground before my time, and I was like, man, fuck this shit. This is not time for me to die yet. I mean, this shit ain't right how they trying to put me in the ground. It wasn't my time to go. I was like, hell nah, bro. I got too much shit to do. Man, I ain't even enjoy the fruits of my labor that night. I was trying to get back in the house. Like, man, this is some bullshit. Hell nah, I can't die like this. And I'm like, I got everything I need in my house. Just get me home. Get this bullet out of my stomach. Mama, daddy, take me home. When I was under the care of my parents, they ain't want to let me go home. I'm like, man, y'all better take me home and shit. I had to call the police on them and shit. I mean, man, make them take me home. I got somewhere to go. My medicine at home. I'm not gonna heal all the way at their house. So I was like trying to get home. I got everything I need at home. I don't want to be under nobody's supervision, restricting me from what my heart and soul is telling me I need in my body. I'm feeling the pain. I'm the one hurting this shit. They tranquilized my leg in the hospital, man. This shit here haven't came back all the way yet. I'm only at about 60%. I'm not my full self yet. I want to give praise and glory to the Most High, first of all, in this world we live in today. For however it is designed and however it is without one man's power, okay? The way the world has developed in technology, I want to give God the praise for and glory for, extending my life and giving me more time. Even though it wasn't really my time to go yet, but helping me get the bullet out that could have been fatal to my life. That could have caused me to die. And for the people at the hospital who was smart enough and educated enough to know where the problem was in my body and went directly there and took the pain out and got the healing process going. Because without the help of those people, maybe the bullet would have still been in me. If I ain't died yet, I would have been crying and feeling agony and feeling grief and pain and shit without knowing how to get the damn thing out of my chest. I would have pulled it out if I had to, but I mean, it would have hurted so bad. I felt like I'm a soldier, and I've been trained for warfare since 5 years old, so I mean, I felt like I could have gurneyed my own wound and healed myself, but when you feeling the grief and feeling the pain and you just hurting, it took somebody else who was specially trained to do what they did to heal me, and I owe them at least the respect to say thank you. And I gave Memorial Hospital, Memorial Hermann, like I told them, they on the phone, that they were like the best medical center in the world. Thank you for saving my life. And I saw this in the paper. Oh, they're on the honor roll. Houston Methodist #1 hospital. They got all these levels in the hospital. Oh. Houston is like the #1 medical center in the world. It's, maybe 2, New York and Boston, Massachusetts. They have the best hospitals in the world. Okay, I think Houston is like #1 in the whole world. Okay, so I want to respect them in Houston for that. That's why I do live here. This is a space age city. They didn't send men to outer space. That was their greatest accomplishments of this city. Put a man on the moon. You know, they got 24 satellites all around the earth that controls the World Wide Web, that controls all type of wireless technology and the use of a phone and telegraphs and fax machine, everything in technology. This is a great city that has all of those things. It has specialists, people who are designed for those purposes. They even have machines created by man, created by God, who created man. So all of those powers can combine together, you know. I see this great image of what it is, the spirit of such a thing, God, man, and machine, all together like in divine unity with one another. It's metamorphosized itself. I had been sketching this right here. I saw the greater man. It's a machine. As a man, as a machine, and as a God as well. You know, I'm designing it right now. It's like Voltron. It says all for one, one for all. Together we stand, divided we fall. Okay, and I'm drawing that right now. Putting the ink on it. You know, I see that some of people, when they come together and unite at this New Jerusalem thing I've been talking about. And since this is the 500th year since the conquest of the Indian territories by the Spaniards, since 1519, and Hernan Cortez and the Spanish Inquisition, the conquistadors conquered the Aztecs, okay? Well, the Aztecs were a branch of Toltecs, who are Afro-Asiatic peoples, who are called the Great Peoples. They are a branch of the Olmec civilization that had been here since 1500 years before Christ. The Mississippian culture at the Missouri River and the Rio Grande Valley right here. This is what I am linked to. In the land of the Apaches. The Apaches are a branch, a tribe of people that come from the Aztecs, come from Montezuma, the wholes of Montezuma. The Apaches were here in this land before any white settlers. And that's what I represent. My gang affiliation, we were originally called the Apache Vice Lords. A Vice Lord meaning next to God, being king on earth like God is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven, the king, which was formerly the Pharaoh in Egypt. Could have been the Indian chief in all of the Indian territories in the pre-Columbian era of America, you know. That's what I'm representing here. So all of these designs, I do them. I'm an artist. And live in color, straight from the street. And I got the street flavor right here. And it's about the pre-Columbian era of America with me. So we are reformed Egyptians. This is the West Indies, West Indian territories. As the culture came out of the land of Egypt, it went into India. Keep going east, you're in the west. So basically my little room was a cultural center where I had been doing historical research every day. You know, I got a lot of work to do. I was working on something. I had this design, this mechanism right here that'll let me know the number of days on the earth. It was based on the Dendera stone I studied in Egypt. It was based on also the Aztec calendar stone, which I found out was the table of the sun, from an Indian tribe of people who understood the Ethiopian language. So they were from Ethiopia. They were from the land of Egypt. They were from Upper Egypt. But they had took their culture into India, across the Arabian Gulf, into the Indian Ocean. So, and this culture spread all over the world, and that's what is the pre-Columbian era of America. So I had figured it out a long time ago. I had stopped going to public school in America. When I left high school, like in the 10th grade, because I was going to be held back for transferring from school to school because of my family, my mother's affairs, and she kept moving us and having to go to somewhere else. You know, I kept getting transferred from school to school. So basically, when I was old enough, I made a decision for myself that I need just to go out in the world by myself and leave public school alone and the learning and their curriculum in the United States or in the state of Texas. When I was going to high school, I was here in Texas. So I was here in Missouri City, Houston, went to Richmond and Rosenberg. I've been all over. Missouri County, Harris County, shit, Anahuac, Montgomery County, everywhere. We've been all over the place. Thinking here I might need to move and go somewhere else because we can't stay here anymore. So all of that, I couldn't stay in high school. And I had learned the world already where I knew I had to hustle and make money. And I felt like maybe my parents, maybe my mother's decisions is making my life unpleasant. I ain't want to be under her supervision anymore and having her making all the decisions for me. As I become a man, I start to make my own decisions. So I just chose to leave high school because I didn't want to do it anymore. I was tired of playing sports, tired of it felt like slavery. Carrying all those books on your back, period after period, and I had to walk home from school, all these books, and I had to play football and basketball and ran track after school. So I mean, by the time I was going to the 11th grade, I just decided I didn't want to do it anymore. So I went and got my GED, went into the world, and tried to make it on my own with my girlfriend that I was with. So, well, my decision, I stopped learning the European colonialized version of the history books, and I began to search for the truth of my ancestors. I started seeing it in the encyclopedia, and it was limited on what the Britannica knew about those things. So, but year after year, since I would say I turned 17 years old, I've been on my own doing this pre-Columbian era research, which always took me back into India and then took me back into Egypt. That's where I kept going back to. You keep looking in the encyclopedia, it shows you everything in Egypt that the British mandate owned or knew something about and publicated and wrote something in the dictionary, wrote something in the encyclopedia. So I spend most of my time each day learning those things. Then it sends me into the Bible. Then it sends me into the Holy Quran sometimes. It's so here and there into the sacred books or the historical books with some religious text in each country. Then it makes you search for those things. So I wasn't being taught that in the Western Hemisphere in the United States. They didn't teach that curriculum which I chose to begin to learn on my own. So my own free will still desired to learn, but it didn't want to be learning brainwash. It didn't want to learn the white man's falsified history books. It started digging for the truth, and that's what it is. Now I have compiled all of my information for other people who are like me, because I wasn't alone. And wanting to know the truth about your own self and your history and your heritage and what the truth was, because we knew all of those educated guesses in science and the white man's science in those books they were unorthodox. They were not right teaching. So when I found out this, I began to compile what we are calling now the Niggerspedia Nagrannica for the niggas. Who are the pre-Columbian era of America, and it's taking me back to the Olmec centers, and they are in the Pacific side of Mexico, that narrow strip of land. Okay, we're gonna stay tuned to the Niggerspedia Nagrannica, pre-Columbian era of America. Okay.